Hi, I'm John Garvey, and this is FaceTime with President Garvey. In this time of COVID, we've been having a hard time communicating with people, so we decided to try some conversations with faculty, staff, and students and others to just talk back and forth about what's going on at the university. Today, I'm talking with Allie Leingang, who's a graduate of the class of 2020 and a stewardship coordinator in the Office of University Advancement. Allie, nice to see you today.
You too, President Garvey. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you like this. I'm so excited to have a chance to talk to you.
I'm glad you're excited. What's on your mind?
Well, we celebrate Founders Day every April. It's a time for all of us to come together and support the university. But what exactly are we celebrating?
There actually is a founder. It's Pope Leo XIII. And what we're celebrating is a letter that he wrote to Cardinal Gibbons, the Cardinal Archbishop of Baltimore, in 1887, giving us permission to start the university. Up until then, the American Catholic bishops had been trying for, more than 20 years, since the Second Baltimore Council after the Civil War, to start a university, but really all they had was an idea and a piece of land, and it was the Pope's letter that gave them permission to do that, and that really kicked things off. It was a year later, the year my grandpa was born, actually, that we put a shovel in the ground and started the construction of what's now Caldwell Hall. And 2 years later, Leo wrote a letter, Magni Nobis Gaudii, giving us actual formal approval to create the university and grant pontifical degrees. And that year, we started classes.
Wow. So that's why there's a Pope Leo XIII bobblehead.
Well, that's right.
What else
We've got
should
a
we
big
know
statue
about
of him in McMahon Hall and a huge picture of him in the provost's office. I need one for my office, but I don't have it yet.
Well, we have a bunch down here, so hopefully you can get one this year. What else should we know about Pope Leo XIII?
He's not as well known as he probably ought to be. He was Pope for 25 years and wrote, more than 80 encyclicals. Just to give you an idea, Pope Francis has written 2 in his time as Pope, although Leo didn't have a Facebook or Twitter account, and Francis has at least got a Twitter account, and he did appear on film. He was the first Pope to appear on film, but he was a great writer and communicator. He wrote a bunch of encyclicals about the Rosary, in fact, and I think he wrote 46 about the family. He wrote a wonderful encyclical about Thomas Aquinas and encouraged the study of the angelic doctor to philosophers in the Catholic Church, so he's well known for that. He may be best known for his encyclical Rerum Novarum, which was about the relations between workers and capital, and which discouraged the excesses of both socialism and capitalism, and promoted the right of workers to organize and bargain collectively. So he's known as the Pope of the Worker. He also is famous in some circles for having given permission to a young 15-year-old girl who wanted to join the Carmelites at a young age. She became St. Therese of Lisieux, and the namesake for my granddaughter Tessie.
Oh, so sweet. Well, I'm sure Pope Leo XIII would be happy about all the Aquinas we read freshman year.
He would be that, and I'm sure he's looking over Tessie right now from his perch in heaven.
Absolutely. So on Founders Day, we're asked to show our pride to the university. What aspect of our community are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of our students. I love the springtime because I teach a class on the virtues to freshmen in the honors program. I taught for an hour and a half this morning about the virtue of prudence. And it's one of my most favorite things to do at the university. But I just love the students come by Nugent and take out my wife's dog Gus for a walk. I love seeing them at Starbucks. I love the students who end up in the President's Society. Here I love meeting their parents. It's really the best thing we have going at the university.
Absolutely. And I'm a huge fan of Gus as a student and staff member. Whenever I come up to Nugent, I'm always hoping I get to pet Gus. Well, this year has been quite a difficult one for everyone due to the challenges of COVID, including the Catholic University. And supporting Catholic University through Founders Day Giving Challenge is an obvious way to support the university. But what are other ways members of the university could support us?
Let me mention two that don't get enough attention. One is we have done incredibly well. We've been more open than any school in the district, and I give our students a great deal of credit for this because they've been very observant about the protocols that COVID has required, and we haven't really had any outbreaks on the campus. We had two minor incidents in the fall, which I think were associated with keg parties, but the spring, it's been perfect. I also want to thank our faculty and staff for the sacrifices that they've made. Not only have they given to support the students, but they themselves have made financial sacrifices to keep the university going through this time. I think the thing that people can do most is, if they're Cardinals and proud of it, they ought to talk about it. We're just not as well known for the great university we are, so show your colors.
All right, sounds great. Well, President Garvey, thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me today.
Thank you for joining me, Allie. It was so nice to see you.
Of course.